The deeper I work with higher consciousness, the more I realize how strange this world actually is. I receive transmissions constantly, fascinating, weird, mind-bending information. I wish I could share every single one with you, but I'm just a human with a full-time job and a family. So I created Quick Bytes, short videos where I share the strangest, most important transmissions I'm receiving. Welcome. I don't usually follow celebrity gossip, but when I saw Jim Carrey's most recent public appearance, something stopped me. It wasn't the way he looked, it was his energy, the way he moved, the way he spoke. That wasn't him. And then I realized I wasn't alone. People everywhere are saying the same thing, not just about Jim, but about Selena, Kanye, Avril Lavigne, Ariana Grande. They don't just look different, they feel different, like completely different people wearing familiar faces. This goes deeper than plastic surgery. So I tuned into higher consciousness and asked, what is really happening to these celebrities? And this is what came through. Hollywood was never just an entertainment industry. From its earliest days, it was something else entirely. A consciousness manufacturing plant, a place where narratives get created, beliefs get shaped, and human attention gets harvested at massive scale. The people who built it understood something fundamental. Whoever controls the stories controls the minds. So the most visible, most influential celebrities aren't just talented people who got lucky. In many cases, they were identified early, groomed carefully, and positioned deliberately to serve specific purposes. Their job, whether they knew it or not, was to keep humanity focused on distraction, consumption, rather than truth and awakening. That's the foundation. Now let's talk about what happens when someone inside that system starts waking up. What comes through from the field is that the entertainment industry has used advanced psychological programming on performers for decades. Not metaphorically, literally. Techniques derived from military intelligence programs, refined and applied to artists and actors who showed potential for massive cultural influence. The goal was simple: create performers who could be controlled, who would deliver specific messages, and who would stay compliant. When this programming holds, you get the polished, controlled version of a celebrity the public consumes. Everything is managed, every interview, every appearance, every message they send to millions of people. But sometimes the programming breaks down. Sometimes a real human being starts emerging from underneath the constructed persona. Sometimes someone starts asking questions they're not supposed to ask. Sometimes someone starts waking up. And that's when things get interesting. Because a celebrity who is genuinely awakening, with a massive platform, with millions of people who trust and follow them, is one of the most dangerous things imaginable to a system built on keeping humanity asleep. So what does the system do? It alters them. There are multiple mechanisms being used, operating at different levels. At the most basic level, pharmaceutical intervention combined with psychological pressure. Certain combinations of medications administered over time can fundamentally alter personality, memory, and sense of self. This isn't theoretical. Declassified intelligence programs have documented exactly this kind of work. At a more advanced level, frequency-based consciousness manipulation. Technology exists that can target specific frequency bands of human consciousness and alter them. Think of it as hacking the human operating system, not through chemistry, but through its own electromagnetic field. And at the deepest level, what the field shows as consciousness suppression, the ability to push one consciousness so far down that what surfaces publicly is a fundamentally different operating system using the same body. The body is the same, but the consciousness running it has been so profoundly altered that calling it the same person is almost misleading. This is what your gut is picking up on when you watch someone and think, "That's not them." You're not being paranoid. You're using the most sophisticated consciousness detection system that exists, your own intuitive awareness. Before your logical mind can process what it's seeing, your deeper awareness is already reading the energetic signature of another being. Millions of people are feeling this about certain celebrities right now, and they're not wrong. Jim Carrey is the example that opened this conversation for so many people. Jim was genuinely awakening. His interviews from the mid-2000s show a man actively breaking free, questioning reality, and he had one of the most recognizable platforms on the planet. That made him a target. He withdrew from public life. And what emerged on the other side felt fundamentally different. Not older, not changed by time. Different. The fire in his eyes, gone. What replaced it was flatness, a performance of Jim Carrey rather than Jim Carrey himself. What comes through from the field is that his consciousness was forcibly altered during that period, through targeted intervention designed to suppress his awakening and replace it with something more compliant, less threatening. The authentic Jim, the one whose humor was a delivery system for truth, has been pushed so far down that what surfaces now is a hollowed-out version. Present enough to fulfill obligations, vacant enough to pose no threat, a genuinely awakening soul. Silenced not through death, but through something more disturbing, the erasure of the very consciousness that made him dangerous. We share this not to create fear, but to create awareness. You can't protect what you don't know is being targeted. Stay awake. Stay sovereign. Stay yourself. Because the most dangerous thing you can be to a system built on controlling consciousness is a human being who is genuinely, unapologetically, unalterably awake.